Alright, what's up guys? My name is Eric. I am the lead guy of like this band called Learn and stuff. You should know about me if you're like clicking on this video. Today I'm gonna show you how I actually create like a song and stuff, and like how I do it in like the system and stuff like that. You know, I'm just gonna show you like everything. Alright, so obviously first I begin with the drums. I start writing drums and I use a little MIDI thingy, you know. It's just like, you know, drums. I think of drums. It's not a very good example. None of them are. But then I process the drums, obviously, because I want to get a specific drum sound, right? So on the kick, I have just stuff that makes it sound old, you know, and vintage, I suppose. Here's some more stuff that sounds old. See, I got a Pultec here, an SSL 4000E, and I have a certain kind of reverb that I use all the time. And then I usually get a pretty fine drum sound. Like, just get a load of this. Like, I don't know about you, but that's like a pretty solid drum sound to me, you know. That's getting that vibe I wanted, that vibe of like a big room, you know. But the most important part of that drum sound, this plugin I have here, if it loads. Okay, I don't think it's gonna load, but basically what this plugin does is that it puts whatever I put in it through the sounds of this studio. Right, it's called Sound City Studios. Ain't that crazy? That's how the drums are done. It's pretty simple. What's next, I would say, are the guitars. There's lots of guitars. Here's the raw sound of these guitars without any processing. Now already they sound pretty sweet. Like if there's any problem, it's like me playing usually, and like my guitar sucks. So if it sucks, you know, maybe. But like once you put all the stuff and all the things together, check this out. Like, you probably couldn't tell a difference, but like, it's important. See, I got like, you know, this stuff going on. I got a little bit of like fake stuff going on, and I got some of that stuff and things, you know. But what's most important is this reverb. This reverb is the reverb I use like all the time. This is the reverb, the sound. This is it. Going down the track here, I call this the jangle guitar. It's jangly. It also does a cool thing here. And if you see here, I got one panned a little bit to the left and one panned a little bit to the right. The next guitars are the harder guitars. These guitars are like, you know, rougher to accompany the pussy jangle guitar. But here's the real meat. And together, they sound freaking awesome if you ask me. I like that sound. It's a good sound. With these guitars, I also decided to make a really weird noise as well. Like, is that not awesome? Like, I think that's pretty awesome if you ask me. I also have a bass, of course. My bass sound is based off of Nirvana's Nevermind. It has this really nice, droopy, nice bass sound, but it's kind of bright as well, and it sticks out, but it's also deep. And this is like my attempt at that. I don't know if you can tell. It's sufficient. So on this bass, I have obviously the bass amp here. It's a fake bass, you know. I got my beautiful, my lovely, my wife here, the BX Console SSL 4000E. I cannot emphasize how much I love this thing. It's the greatest thing I've ever heard. I got just a little bit of chorus, you know. Everybody loves a little bit of chorus, right? I got an EQ that removes this master EQ that I have. I'll talk about that later. And then with this bass, I have some side chaining to the kick. So when the kick hits, the bass gets a little bit quiet, and the kick don't like, you know, knock each other out, because they're both in like the same frequency range. And apparently I have some freaking auto-tune on the bass. I guess I just suck. Like, damn, I didn't even notice. Good, whatever. As you can see around here, I have what looks like a music box. Here's music box. Here's what I wrote for that. I got the idea for a music box because I actually didn't even think of it, but I thought of a music box and I was like, wow, that sounds really nice. I think that would go way better than a glockenspiel because I had a glockenspiel before. And then I realized it all like made sense together, you know, with the album. It's called Later That Night, right? And it's like about like stuff and things, you know, but like sleep is an important aspect of like the theme, you know. Maybe I might just be saying stuff, but like it's perfect. It's like the greatest thing ever. Like, wow. I'm so happy I thought of a music box. Like, who could have thought of that, you know? I did. The most important part of a song, in my opinion, is the vocals. But the vocals are usually the hardest because they require real performance. It's where that real emotion and like what you're trying to say comes through, right? For this song, I wanted just something like, you know, really sad. You know, something just, this sucks. And I'm not that good of a singer at all. But like, I need to get my words. I need to push through, you know. Here's my vocals unprocessed. This is my place of peace. I can't even keep myself in time. I'm just that garbage. But here's my voice with the processing. This is my place of peace. So all I've got on this vocal is pretty much, oh my gosh, I got like nothing on here. I love this LA2A. It's the greatest like compressor for vocals, in my humble opinion. As if I've tried any other ones, but it's nice. It really makes it sound nice and warm. And then I got, of course, my beautiful favorite reverb here. What's always more interesting and gets separate processing are the chorus vocals, because typically in the songs I create, the vocals for the chorus are very yelly, you know, very screamy. I made this vocal 2 parts. The first one I came up with is actually the dark one. Who is driving now when... I like that, but it just wasn't sticking out in the mix enough. So then I wrote this little brighter spot that I came up with in my head. Who is driving now when... And together, I think they sound pretty awesome. It's a little messy, but hey, punk rock, right? Who is driving now when... Typically when you're upset about stuff, like, the message, it gets through without much effort. But like, you know, I did these in like, I think literally like a take. Now there's 2 more things I created. One was this final solo, it looks like. This solo itself had a lot of freaking processing, I guess. First I had this beautiful amp here. Then I added my baby. Stereo widening. Chorus. A bit of delay. My other baby. Equalization. A little thing that makes it go a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. A tube modulator. And the freaking Beatles tape machine, because I love the Beatles, you know? The Beatles are awesome. Frick yeah, Abbey Road. Like, heck yeah. It's like I recorded this in Abbey Road. Like, Paul McCartney was just like right beside me. Like, isn't that awesome? I'm not actually that good at guitar consistently. That did take more takes. But at the end, I have this this nice acoustic guitar here, and I wanted it to sound like, because like there was all this like big loud music beforehand, right? So I wanted it to end with a sad and depressing, lonely guitar, you know? And I wanted it to sound like it was in a real room. Like, of course, I needed my beautiful tape here, the Beatles tape, my baby, stereo widening, noise canceling, because everywhere I go, there's just so much noise. You can't stop the noise. There's just noise everywhere. And this is actually the important part here. I got this living room effect, or like, you know, I got this living room thingy, and it makes it sound like a living room, and I had to, like, you know, make it sound like a living room, and now it sounds like a living room. Like, it's not that convincing, but at least it sounds like, hey, that's a freaking sad, lonely guitar. I also have this master track, and this is honestly the most important part of the sound. Here is the song without this master track. Now to you that might just sound like, hey, it's a pussy version of the song, but what this actually does is a lot. This, in terms of like sound, like this does a lot. First I have this is the master EQ I was talking about. I don't know why, it just sounds good on everything, so now I mix with it. It's probably horrible technique, but I use it everywhere. It's probably where my quote-unquote sound comes from. Next, I got this beautiful SSL compressor right here. Next, I got this virtual mix rack because I'm all about making this stuff sound like it's from like a real studio, you know what I mean? It gives it a little bit of that distortion, that edge, that is kind of inaudible. Of course, I need tape in my life. I need just tape. I love tape. I need tape. And then I got this clipper here to chop off the edges of the waveforms. And then I got this beautiful little tool here that helps me, you know, make sure my ears aren't being stupid. The name of the game is to just keep this little line here inside this freaking river here, you know, and if it's in there, then it'll sound fine. Obviously, it's more than that. I got to use my ears. I got to use different speakers. I use cars now to freaking hear my music and what it sounds like in a car. Of course, I also do use a real vehicle. I have access to those around, you know. I also have a job. Like high-key, low-key, once you know how to actually produce and mix all the music, music can just come out really quickly. A lot of these songs didn't take more than a day or two to actually create a good product and like listenable. And like in these studios that I see, you know, like the real studios, they take like a whole day to do like one whole song, and that's because they're striving for perfection or something. I don't know. I guess it's probably a lot more difficult when there's real people, right? But when it's just you, when I'm completely alone and it's just me, there's like I have full, complete control of what I want to make you hear. Like I have complete creative liberty. There's nobody telling me, hey, maybe this should sound like that. And like that is very much a double-edged sword, because like I can totally like do whatever the heck I want, but the issue is I can totally do whatever the heck I want. I don't have anybody to tell me, hey, maybe we should do this and that. Hey, maybe I should add freaking forks and knives, you know? It's just me. It's just me, unfortunately. If I need to get original, I just don't. That's pretty much it. That's all that goes into a song. It's pretty cool. This song is called Later That Night from the titular album. It's literally also called Later That Night. It's by my band Lurden. I pretty much did a lot on it. A lot of work. I've been working on it for maybe over a year. The release, it comes out May 10th, 2026. I hope you're excited. You should be excited. I'm very excited. There's lots of little promotional thingies on my socials, you know. That'll all be down in the description and stuff. I also have this little thingy here where I actually keep track and I can actually share with my close people, that these tracks, you know, so that they can actually listen to them in listenable states. Like here, for example, these are the final tracks, you know, master tracks. These are the unmastered tracks. I got some B-sides here and there, you know. I got some C-sides here and there, you know. I got some demos here and there. I got some finals here and there, you know. It all makes it very useful. It's all very nice. It's all very useful, and that's pretty much all that goes into making a song and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.